Have some tea while I'm at it, right? Well, hey guys, so there are a lot of new subscribers. Thank you so much. My last video did very well, so I thought I would continue posting, but I can't really post anything like of me painting at the moment, so I thought a tag would be perfect. So I'm going to do the starving artist tag, which is very fitting because I'm a starving artist. No, just kidding. It was started by Lena Danya and some other artists that I watch on YouTube, and I thought it would be a great way to for you guys to get to know me. So without further ado, I guess I hate long YouTube intros, so I'm just gonna get into it. Okay, so question number 1. I have it in my bullet journal. You wanna know what an artist's bullet journal looks like? Like this. Like, there's no art in here. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, I have my sketchbooks. I'll keep this one nice and clean, thank you. Am I in focus? I hope so. Okay. Okay, question number 1 is, what is your favorite experience as an artist? Well, one of my favorite experiences as an artist, or probably, well, I kind of see this day as like the happiest day of my life, which is very sad. Well, I had an internship with 2 street artists where I learned pretty much learned how to paint the level that I do now. But like the whole project I was making, the project that I did there, I was making an exposition and like just paintings to expose at the end of it. And I think that exposition, like seeing all my friends and family come there to look at my art, that was amazing. Like, I was completely overwhelmed with all the love that I was getting. Also, when like the first time I stood at Dutch Comic Con with a table selling my art, like just seeing people get so enthusiastic about my art and a certain animal that I painted and they want to buy it, like that still gets to me every time. So every time someone like buys anything from me, that is like a great experience. It's I have to have a tea break. I kind of cough when I talk too much. Okay, so what is your least favorite experience as an artist? Well, I would have to say my experience in art school, and I have a whole entire video on my experience in art school. It's not super negative or anything, just my opinion on like if art school is for you or not. But yeah, I thought it was pretty traumatic for me. Like, first of all, it wasn't what I expected it to be, and I also, I don't know, I would work so hard and I would just get mediocre grades, which is very sad. First of all, I'm very bad at receiving feedback, which is amazing when you're an artist because you need to get feedback and criticism, but that's something I really struggled with, especially then. Yeah, I just remember like working my ass off for weeks and my hand being like completely cramped up because I was drawing on this project so much, and I'd get a mediocre grade, and I just feel like, you know, that even though I know maybe I didn't do the assignment the way I should have, like at least hard work should have been like rewarded, I don't know. So that was one of my least favorite experiences as an artist, for sure. Question number 3. What are your dreams/goals for your art? Well, first of all, I would like to be able to live off of it. That would be nice. But I think, you know, like that's obvious. But I also, like long-term goals for when I'm like older and more in my career, I would really like to make art for like either a movie or a video game or a book or something that like will also inspire other people to draw. Like they see like a design I make and they're like, oh my god, I want to draw as well. Like just something in those industries is, you know, that's what inspired me, and that's what I would like to give back and be able to produce in those industries, which is a long stretch, but hey, you know, it's not like when you're 30 your art career is over, like thankfully. Question number 4. What is your favorite medium and why? Well, at the moment I use a lot of acrylic paint. I don't know if I would call it my favorite, but just the one that I'm using the most at the moment. What I like about it is that it dries fast, and I know a lot of people hate it because of this reason, but I make a lot of mistakes in my paintings, and when it dries nice and fast, you can just like put a hairdryer over it, paint over it, and do it again. It's a little bit more hard with oil paint, even though I love oil paint and how the colors are vibrant. Like you'll have to wait like 3 days before you can really go or fix something. And I know there's also ways, and I know you need to plan a little bit more in ahead, which is also true with acrylics, but I just like how it's a little bit more forgiving when you make mistakes like later in the process, because I like to paint intuitively, and even though I rigorously plan a painting, like I'll make lots of big changes halfway. Next question. What inspired you to do art and why? Well, it's actually a pretty funny story, I think so at least. Like in elementary school I had a friend. Well, yeah, I was bullied real bad in elementary school, so there was this one girl who I did hang out with, and she was Chinese, and she was like really into lots of animes. Like it was around the time that Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z started to get on television, but she knew some more because she was from Asia and it's a lot more common there. And she introduced me to Sailor Moon, and I absolutely loved it, and we would be drawing Sailor Moon all day, and I would like get into little competitions with her, like, oh, I want to draw this better than you, I'm gonna defeat you. And that's kind of where my competitive nature came from. And why do I love it? Well, I just really love how you can create this entire fantasy world in your head and then put it on paper and make it a reality. Like, it has really helped me during very dark times. Like, I'm pretty much an escapist. Like, that's why I really like fantasy and science fiction and stuff, because it's a completely different world and I love immersing myself in those worlds. And I would really be into anime, and I would really be into like video games and books, and I would want to like put my interpretation or my own creativity into those worlds or create my own, and like I could just completely escape reality basically, and that's why, I guess, why I love it so much. Okay, so question number 6. What is your favorite piece you have ever made and why is it special? Now, I really had to think about this because I don't really know, like my art is ever evolving, and especially now I'm really trying to figure out like who I want to be as an artist. But if I would have to pinpoint some now, I would say it would be A Dream of Bunnies. I'll put a photo here. And my Toadstool Elf, which is kind of a self-portrait of me, and then also my painting of the Unicorn Lady, which is right back here, but I'll put a picture here. Because, well, if you guys seen my art school video, you'll know that I kind of, in art school, they kind of tried to push me in a different direction than I wanted to, and now that I'm freelancing, I'm trying to find like my style and what kind of art I really want to do, and I kind of feel like these pieces are put me in a direction that I want to go in. Okay, question number 7. Who or what are your biggest influences? Like, okay, so who influences me really changes. Like, I do look at a lot of different artists and kind of try to like look at their art in a way of like, what do I like about their art? Like, is it the colors, is it the way they use light? And then I let those elements influence me, and try to use those things in my own art to create like my own thing. But one thing that influences me the most in art is video games, books, series, like anything that there's world building involved. Okay, question number 8. What did you learn from being a full-time artist? Well, unfortunately, I'm not a full-time artist yet. I would like to be. At the moment, I'm working part-time in retail and part-time as an artist, and obviously I don't make enough money with my art yet, but it's starting to go up, so hopefully, like, instead of like this being my part-time job and this being my art job, like, I hope the incomes will just slowly start to do this. So I will, yeah, be able to like start working less in retail and pursuing my dream. And like, I think if I continue like this, it'll be a reality. But to come back to the question, I do want to say that what I have learned is that, you know, I used to think that if I would just achieve my goals in art and become like a full-time artist, that that would be the solution to all my problems in life, and I realized that that's probably not going to be the case. Like, even if I achieve my goals, like I will get a lot of new problems and I won't necessarily be happy and that's it. Like, I have a lot of things that I need to work on for myself, and that even though, yeah, so I guess what I've learned is that even if I achieve my goal, that will not bring me happiness, and that I need to find happiness in another way. Like, sorry, this is getting a bit deep. Yeah, I think that I need to be comfortable with how things are now, and then once I achieve my goals, that I can like also still be happy in that way and not like always be searching for more, if you get what I mean. I don't know. But yeah, so that's one thing I've learned being a part-time artist, I guess. So question number 9. What do your family and friends think of you being an artist? Well, my family has always been very supportive. They've always like encouraged me to go to art school and draw and buy me supplies, and well, pretty much all my friends are artists as well, or at least creative people in some way. So they're always supportive. Like, my partner is an artist as well. I don't know what to answer. Like, everyone's pretty cool with it. I mean, I think my parents did like maybe wonder if I would be able to make a living off of it, which is like, Question number 10. Was being an artist or becoming an artist your childhood dream? If not, what is? It was definitely my dream. Like, I remember my mom had like, I think it was this like Dr. Seuss book, and it had like all these professions in it that you could be, and I remember one being like a dress designer, but you would be drawing the dresses, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to be. And I think it was like 3 or something like that. I have a real good memory of when I was very small. But like, I also really love animals. Like, if I would not have wanted an artist, I would have either want to be like an animal caretaker in like a zoo, or a biologist. And I was really into Steve Irwin. He was my absolute hero. So I would imagine like me going into the jungle and discovering new species and drawing them, and like basically what Jane does in Tarzan. Like, that was my dream job. But at the same time, I'm drawing a lot of animals too, so yeah. Okay, were you supported to pursue art as a child? Which is question number 12. Yes, definitely. I already kind of answered this question. Like, my parents were always very supportive, so I kind of wish that like in schools they kind of like pushed me a little bit more to pursue art, but yeah, I think that's like, you know, they want you to make money. Anyways, question number 13. Do you make money off your art? Well, I guess I also kind of answered this question as well. I do make money off my art, and I do have an Etsy shop that is keep doing better and better, so that's really exciting. Yeah, so buy my stuff please, thank you, so that I can feed myself. What do you want to improve on / inspire to be with your future art? Well, some things that I want to improve on are storytelling in my images, so that it's not just a pretty lady being all pretty, just like actually telling a story. I want my images to be more dynamic, so like a little bit more perspective use, and foreshortening, and like action lines. Like, that's something I always wanted to improve on, which is really hard. And I also want to improve on my anatomy, which is like a forever quest. Which reminds me, by the way, like, one of you guys commented on recommending this book, and I bought it, which is very cool. It's this book, like Anatomy, Figure Drawing, Design and Invention. So whoever like suggested that, thank you. I really like it. It's very good. Hopefully I'll be good now. Okay. Yeah, and also another thing I would like to improve on is world building, and like I find that playing Dungeons and Dragons really helps with that. So yay. Okay, question number 15. What feelings do you try to express in your art? I don't know. Like, I really don't do that. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so great that you can express yourself with art, but like, I don't really express my emotions in my art. I just express what inspires me. Question number 16. What is your favorite thing to paint and why? Well, I like to paint animals because I love animals, and I also love to paint elf ladies. Like, I don't know why, because ladies are pretty. I don't know. Like, I don't have any deep meanings behind my art or something. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, I guess I like painting and drawing those things for sure. Okay, so question 17. What is the strangest thing you have painted? Well, I don't think it's strange, but a while back I painted these two paintings of like a crocodile and a turtle embryo. I will post it here. But some people are kind of like grossed out with it, while I kind of think like it's beautiful, and seeing an animal develop in such a stage is very interesting and fascinating. So, well, it was kind of the theme of that exposition was unlovely, and so it was seeing beauty in things that a lot of people do find ugly, but I think it's very fascinating to look at embryos. But a lot of people are kind of grossed out with that, so I guess that's kind of the strangest thing, I don't know. Or unless you're like, I have a lot of sketchbooks with awkward yaoi drawings in it, like, if you know what that is, then okay, good, but other than that, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, so question number 18. Have you ever been hung up after you started a commission, and how did you handle it? I actually have not done this before. Like, maybe I was the one who was a bit like loosey-goosey on it, but no, I've never had someone hang up on me like that. Okay, question number 19. Do you admit that paint smells good? Well, I personally am one of those persons who loves the smell of like glue and gasoline and permanent markers, but I use like odorless paint, like acrylic, and I use odorless medium when I paint with oils, but I do love the chemical like smell. I know it's bad for me. Okay, question number 20, last one, yay! Okay, so what would you tell your younger self? Well, this is a very deep question, but honestly, like, there's a lot of things I could say to my younger self, but if I like remember how I was back then, I don't think I would have listened. Like, people gave me this advice that I would give myself, but I think like if you want to be helped in a way, you need to be open to listen. So what would I tell my younger self is you need to learn the hard way. You need to go through all this stuff, and then one day it'll be all fine. Wow, this is so deep, oh my god! I need a sip of tea before it gets cold. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I hope that I'll be able to post more art related, well, this is art related, but I hope I'll be able to do more painting videos in the future, but I thought for now I would just give you a little bit get to know me video. So comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll put all my links to my Instagram and Facebook page in a link below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!